Hello and welcome to another episode of the Mighty Movie Pod. My name is Ryan. I'm joined as always by Big Money, Big Dick, the ham bone horror himself, Josh.
That's you. I wasn't. Hi.
How you doing, Josh?
Pretty good. Glad to be back.
We are glad to be back. We're hitting you up here from Studio A.
Studio A?
The fourth studio in this this here production.
I was going to call it Studio 5.
Well, I figured we went from B or C. I don't even remember. I don't remember anymore. I thought it was Studio 3.
I remember, yeah, we had Studio 3.
So now we're to Studio A.
Because it was, yeah.
Yeah. We're switching how we're doing this.
All right, we'll just keep making them up as we go. We had the Garudio. That's the only one I really remember.
It's true. Before that was just the first studio, which was nowhere in particular.
It was just a dining room table.
This is also not a permanent setup for the time being, but we're here. We're back. And I know what you guys are thinking. About time. We're waiting with bated breath for us to make our triumphant return. And what a return it is.
Yes.
Because we have 2 movies to talk about. Probably more.
Dos Mubis.
More, to be honest. And if you're thinking, I remember on the last episode they said they were going to come back and talk about something else. We didn't feel like it.
I don't remember.
Stranger Things, I don't like it.
Oh.
Josh hates it, and we didn't need to stretch that out for 40 minutes.
No.
So you're welcome. And there you go. You got the whole thing we planned.
There we go.
Moving on from there, I want to talk about something really important. Very important.
Diabetes.
Yeah, diabetes. Is Wilford Brimley still alive?
Yes.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Does he still have diabetes?
Of course he does. He's Wilford Brimley.
Well, I thought maybe he.
Yeah, I don't want to live in a world where
he does not
have diabetes.
Yeah, if there's ever like a legitimate cure,
Yeah.
he has to not get it.
Yeah. Jesus.
That's just the state Wilford Brimley has to be in. Wilford
Brimley.
Wilfred.
Actually, Will Ford.
Oh, is it Wilford?
Yeah.
I should have known.
To the Wikipedia. He's still kicking.
Oh my God. How old is he?
He's 84.
Oh, he's not even that old. I mean, 84 is fucking old, but I was thinking like if he's still alive, he's like in his 90s.
Nah.
Like fucking
Betty White.
But yeah, Betty White or one of these other extremely old corpses walking around.
Jesus.
I mean, shit, dude. There's only a couple of them left. Stan Lee died, and fucking those are the only like prominent 90-year-olds I know. Betty White and Stan Lee.
That's yeah.
So like
How old is Gilbert Gottfried? Last time I saw him, he looked like death.
He looks really fucking old.
He looks awful.
I don't think he's in his 90s.
You sure about that?
I can't be.
Cher has to be 95.
Oh yeah, Cher might be. Yeah, Cher might be old as fuck in her 90s.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I feel like she's been in her 90s for a long time. They just keep putting her brain in different bodies.
In different plastic shells.
Yeah.
In other news, we saw a pretty bad movie that we were very excited to see.
Very much so.
And in fact, I think the public opinion is that it's a very exciting romp of a time.
Yeah, it seems to be. I totally disagree. I thought Concrete Cowboys was a terrible film.
Concrete Cowboys. Starring Morgan Fairchild,
Tom Selleck,
and a guy.
Hounges.
Who says hounges?
Hounges right off a tree.
Yeah.
What a treat.
We got a double feature DVD at the thrift shop.
Yeah.
Came with a movie called, first of all, we wanted to buy Concrete Cowboys.
Yeah, because the cover art was amazing.
Yeah, but it was all scratched up. Next thing you know, we go to a new thrift store and they have a double feature disc that has Concrete Cowboys and bonus fucking Bailout.
Starring Knight Rider's own
David Hasselhoff. Yes, and we watched Bailout first.
Yeah.
because we're like, we got to keep save the best for last.
Yeah,
Concrete Cowboys.
Yeah, Tom Selleck, man. How could it go wrong?
That was a mistake.
That was a terrible mistake.
They put their best foot forward on this one.
They did. They put Bailout on the upside.
Are we talking about Concrete Cowboys or are we talking about Bailout? Or are we going to talk about both of them?
Do you want to talk about both?
No, I don't want to talk about both of them.
I just wanted to say Bailout was a better movie than Concrete
If
Cowboys.
you find here's the hot tip. If you find a double feature disc with Bailout and Concrete Cowboys, just watch Bailout.
Yeah. Or if you run across it in a thrift store, don't pick up Concrete Cowboys.
Also, it is on Amazon Prime Video for
free.
They
both are on Amazon Prime.
And if you think, oh, that'll be the better way to watch it, it'll probably be better quality. No, it's exactly the same. It looks
just as bad.
It's a terrible VHS rip.
Yeah. It looks like it was filmed on video.
Yeah, it does look like it's filmed on video, but really I know bad. It wasn't.
No.
There's no way.
It is a boring movie. Cool concept, very boring movie. I mean, like, if you've ever seen The Cowboy Way, you've seen Concrete Cowboys.
And the plot didn't make any sense.
No.
At all.
No.
It was just new ways for them to show that they're good old boys and they're not ready for Nashville.
They're a couple rough and tumble guys.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Of
anyway,
ill repute.
The movie I was actually talking about.
Yes, moving on to another movie about boys of ill repute.
Indeed. Hobbs and Shaw. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. We went and saw that. Very excited to see that.
Oh, super pumped. We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah,
how pumped we were to watch that thing.
Yeah. Josh, what did you think about Hobbs and Shaw?
I try not to.
I would agree. I forgot I saw it.
I don't even know how to talk about that movie.
Here's what I'll say
it's
about it.
It's a whole lot of nothing, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like
it gets everything that makes Fast and the Furious great wrong.
Yeah. They didn't understand that Fast and the Furious is cool and funny because it takes itself very seriously in a kind of tongue-in-cheek sort of way. Yeah. It's very self-serious while being ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that's like the tone they go for.
Mm-hmm.
This was like, it's Fast and the Furious. It's ridiculous. Haha. It's funny, right?
They think that the actual comedy is what makes Fast and the Furious fun, and the comedy's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, the comedy's not good. The characters
we don't need 5-minute scenes of The Rock and Statham just pulling bad insults out of their ass. Like
like improv, like maybe they improv'd it, but I don't think that The Rock has those chops.
I think he does. He comes from wrestling.
They don't improv shit.
It's all written. They improv.
It's all written, man.
They improv.
Their personas.
Are
completely reliant.
Wrestling's super scripted, but I don't think all of it is scripted. I think there's a lot of trash talk that just flows. Like Randy Savage was known for his.
I'm sure
his capabilities. I wish Randy Savage had played Hobbs. He'd have been better.
But I don't. Yeah, but I don't know if I don't know if The Rock really. I don't know if you take his character and you take his kind of prowess and you'd like, all right, now riff a bit. It's funny. Like, no, he's funny because he's fucking stupid and it just says one-liners and he thinks he's the toughest dude in the world.
Yeah.
This
is like, gotta go to work.
Yeah, this is like you'll get one of those and then one like, I'm going to have a long, drawn-out, funny example of why I hate your face.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And do that 14 times over.
Yeah. God. Statham's not good at it either.
No.
That's like every scene. Every scene, you're postponed from what's supposed to be happening. You're delayed by jackassery because, like, we've got to have a bit first. Like, we can't just go kick some ass or like, have a couple cool one-liners or you know, a couple chuckles at something stupid that's going on. No. Before you get to that, you have to sit through this insufferable 2 to 3 minute back and forth between the two of them about who's better at kicking ass, you know, or whose face is grosser or who dresses worse than the other.
And like not in a serious way where like you're like the stakes are high and they think they have the answer. It's almost like we know they're not going to split up.
Yeah.
Like this is just like an aside. And they're like, all right, here's a scene. We got some improv. We threw it in. All right, now somebody else is going to put some exposition, and then we move to the next thing
where
they talk about where they can't.
They were really trying to fill that 87-minute window.
Yeah, it was. It got the characters wrong. It got why Fast and the Furious is cool wrong. Yeah. It got everything but like Idris Elba and some of the
Idris Elba
parts.
was great, and a lot of the action was really good. It's done by it's the guy that made John Wick, so it looks great, but he isn't right for. There's a flavor that Fast and the Furious is, and he doesn't know how to make it.
Yeah, and I'm not like completely against celebrity cameos. Some of them are super funny when they do happen and are used appropriately and sparingly. This movie has several.
I think my problem with this isn't a spoiler. Ryan Reynolds' scene is I'm done with Ryan Reynolds, man. Like for a time I was like, oh man, this guy's friggin' hilarious. But like now he just does Deadpool all the time. Yeah, and I'm over it, man.
Yeah, it was the same shtick.
I'm just over it. I hated that movie so much.
I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm generally it's okay, but like, yeah, I very much disliked it. It's not worth hating, but yeah,
I was just bored. Like, the whole time.
That's how I felt. I was like, this isn't keeping my interest at all. There was nothing about it that I went, oh, that was cool. Like the action, I was like, oh, this looks good.
Yeah,
Idris Elba.
Competent.
Idris Elba. He's really playing that off.
Yeah, I like Idris Elba.
Really, really,
cool. And I like the girl that plays the sister. She was in Mission Impossible. She's cool. And I liked Statham. Statham was cool. It's weird because I normally like The Rock. I didn't like him at all in this movie. He was just annoying. Felt like he was showboating the whole time.
He was the weakest link. Like I said, I think he played a different character in this.
He wasn't Hobbs.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't Hobbs at all. He was The Rock.
Yeah, it was weird.
And normally I like The Rock because I think he's a good guy. I think he's funny and stuff like that. But like, yeah, dude, just like this movie was just like, it felt like everyone was really trying their hardest.
I think it was a good...
Except for Statham, I think he was bored for most of them. He just didn't seem into being there.
It was a good concept, and I like that they're trying to do like a little spinoff with some characters that were kind of fan favorites. And then I think they started writing it and filming it, and it just like wasn't really working.
I don't think it ever came together.
And they tried their best, and it just didn't have the results. But from what I understand, it's doing good, and I think people like it.
Yeah, people are digging it. The people that we saw it with loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, God, they couldn't open their mouths without those dudes next to me just busting up. Like, they'd be like, Hubs, oh my God, and they're just cracking up. You know, they were. I think that was another thing that was killing the movie for me, was those cackling morons next to me. But I was just bored the whole movie. I was just not into it at all.
Plot was about and like the threat was about as generic as it got.
Well, and that's the other thing is like the threat isn't threat. There's no tension.
Not really. No.
Like she has a virus in her that could wipe out everyone, including her, and it's just kind of like.
But the thing is, the reason there's no tension is because they have a contingency plan. It's literally only going to affect her, because if they can't figure out how to help her, then they just have to kill her.
Yeah, but my point is she never like degrades as this virus supposedly progresses. There's never a sign that she's sick. She's still running around kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah, well, they explained it. Like, it's
a little capsule.
It's just in capsules, and when those dissolve, then everybody's gonna fucking die.
But like, there was never a point where they started to dissolve or anything. You know, it was just kind of, I don't know.
The virus
dude,
would be unleashed.
I was just like,
yeah,
like at one point, I think I was like, what are we doing again?
It was only a plot to save her. That was it, because the whole we're gonna kill millions of people was like, well, but we could just kill her and then that won't happen. So it was literally just to save her. That was it.
Then why? It's just it's.
With the guise of like, but also in millions of people.
It seems so, yeah, but like, and it's just like, it's it's pointless. Like it was the whole thing. That's the thing about that movie. Like that's what I was. Yeah, like I said it already. It was pointless. There's nothing going on.
Yeah, I don't know who she is. I didn't care. Like that's the thing. Like when you have fucking when you have Letty come back and you're just like, why does she have amnesia?
Yeah,
like you care.
Yeah, like. Yeah, Gal Gadot's character, you know, like the same thing, you know, or Vin's baby mama,
exactly,
you know? Dom's baby mama, you know, like then we get Shaw's sister, which we never knew existed, and it's all part of this whole like thing they're doing where Shaw's like really a good guy.
No, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's like a super.
No,
good
he was
guy.
Set up, even though we saw him like blow up a hospital.
Yeah, and he like didn't he curb stomp Han?
Well, he hit him with the car, and that's when he died.
Right. Yeah. I thought he like crawled out of the car and then kicked him or something so. Like that.
I think so. Something like that. I don't remember. I just know he killed Han.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, Shaw's a piece of shit.
To get back at Vin Diesel for killing his brother, who was actually bad.
Yeah, who was actually bad, but he wasn't bad. He was set up to look bad, you know. And it's just like Shaw's a bad man, you know.
Yeah, which they kind of hint at, even still. Like it's a mess. It's a mess. It's not good. Yeah. I usually like to be.
They just keep pulling Shaw siblings out of their ass. Next movie, we're gonna find out he's got a cousin, and it's like Simon Pegg or something like that.
I like to silver lining a lot of things, or find the spots that are good, or I get what they're going for. Like I talk about Hellboy and stuff like that. This one, I'm just like, nah, it just didn't work.
No,
it's just bad.
It's just bad.
Not even in a like but I enjoyed it. Like no, I didn't. I didn't really care for it.
No, I was just like I said, bored the whole time. Just like trying to like I started occupying myself by trying to remember what the point was. Like, why are they together? Why are we in Hawaii? I love that it still perpetuates the Fast and Furious myth that like if you can fix a carburetor, you can do anything.
No, it was funny. That was the only thing that really got my brain working, and it made me laugh. I was like, this is good dumb, because apparently Hobbs' brother is the best mechanic in Samoa. And so therefore he can fix a virus extracting device.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's so stupid. But then I remembered that Ludacris is like the hacker technology guy on the team now. He used to just own a shop in Miami and run fucking jet ski races.
He wasn't even a driver.
And he never even worked on shit. He had his like Mexican buddy that did all that shit.
Yeah. He just made fat beats and hosted the races.
Yeah, and picked his afro. Like that was it. And then like all of a sudden he's like, nah, I know technology. So you know what? I was like, no, you know what? This tracks in the Fast and Furious universe.
It was so stupid. At that part, cracked me. He's the best mechanic I know, and I was like, "What does that have to do with anything?" Oh yeah, it's Fast and Furious.
Yeah, and he's like got glasses on, and then he's like 3D printing pieces and scanning them.
Yeah, and he's like writing schematics.
Yeah,
and like checking formulas.
Yeah, see, that's good bad, and that's the thing. There's nothing else in this movie that I can pick apart like that.
No,
that's just boring.
No,
just boring.
That's the thing that sucks, is like you can't even pick it apart. It's just like, yeah, they sure know how to riff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there was nothing like there's no Vin Diesel winning a race in reverse and then jumping out of a flaming car and it exploding, and then him just being like, I don't need your car, I got your respect.
Yeah, and then stomping a parking garage in half, or like what was it? The Rock diverting a torpedo with his foot.
Yeah.
You know, or
picking up a
tidal wave of every car in America coming on top of them.
Yeah, like it's just bad.
Shattering a cast by bending his arm and like being A-okay.
And then picking up a Gatling gun on top of that. So I wouldn't even recommend it. I usually go like, you can see it if you want. Nope.
Yeah,
I don't think it's worth it.
I don't either.
I don't know if
that's unfortunate to say, man, because
I don't know if the bad guy is going to play into the next Fast and Furious movie or not. Probably.
Is there going to be another Fast and Furious? I heard the whole franchise is kind of up in arms right now. Like nobody really wants to work with each other anymore. And Vin's kind of getting a big ego, and The Rock's ego is conflicting with Vin Diesel's, and
we'll see what they do. Yeah. But I mean, they set up a sequel, kind of.
Oh, they totally set
and
up
then
a sequel.
they did like
they're like the new crew is the three of them.
Yeah, that's
Thank
right.
God for that.
And then they did like some mid-credit stingers, which was stupid.
Oh God.
So I'm just like, no.
No.
Like those movies are done.
No.
You don't need to start. You're too late to this party.
Yeah, we don't need to keep doing this mid-credit, mid-credit, mid-late credit.
Yeah,
credit.
I'm already tired of being in the fucking movie theater for 45 minutes with all the bullshit that they're playing, and none of it's hot dog at all.
Oh, dude, you know what's funny is I was 25 minutes late to the movie that I saw on Thursday. One of the movies I saw on Thursday, and they were still playing trailers when I got there.
No, I think they've started playing like 5 more minutes of trailers. I've noticed. Yeah, like I used to be like, yeah, they're like 20 to 25. Now they're like 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, but see, in the one that we're going to talk about next, it was only like 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
But
yeah.
Yeah, dude, yeah, man.
Yeah. It's not even. Fuck it. Now to move on, fuck it. Let's move on to something else. Let's move on to something that's infinitely more enjoyable to fucking talk about. Quentin Tarantino is a filmmaker who makes movies.
I was terrified you were going to bring up paparazzi.
No, dude, that's its own. That's like its own video worthy. So, no paparazzi, not yet.
Not yet. Ooh.
I gotta pull some clips. So, Quentin Tarantino makes movies.
He does.
Most of them are pretty good. He made a new one. It's no surprise. It's pretty good.
It's really
I think
good.
it's fucking fantastic. I
really enjoyed it.
it's one of his best, and it's probably my favorite movie this year and my favorite movie of his. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
Hated it. No, dude, it's weird. It's Tarantino movies are movies where I hang on every word that is said, and like I get like super interested in whatever dumb thing that they're talking about. Like, and this movie is 90% just people sitting at tables talking to each other.
Yeah.
And it's great the whole time. Dude, honestly, I think DiCaprio's best performance in a while.
Yeah, he was very good.
I really liked him a whole bunch.
I really liked Brad Pitt a lot.
Brad Pitt was great in the movie because he was just doing Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And like, that's always awesome.
He's doing it very, very well. I
loved it.
It was, dude, it was like so many things for me. It's dumb old Hollywood shit. It's dumb fucking, Tarantino glorifying old cinema, and then you've got them that are just like bros, and that was
so cool.
It was refreshing to me because there was one moment in the film where like you get like a maybe he's fucking with me, and then he thinks back and he goes nah, and then they're just bros enough. The whole movie, legitimate friends. Nobody fucks anybody over. Nobody does anything. In fact, it's just kind of a 3-hour movie about nothing for film nerds.
Yeah,
and then
it's exactly what it is.
Something that's somewhat relevant happens, but it doesn't happen.
No, I was going to bring that up if we get into spoilers.
Yeah, we will
on.
get into spoilers.
But yeah, that kind of turned me out. I was just kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're
doing that again.
It's just characters and actors doing their thing. It's fucking Quentin Tarantino fucking flexing his fucking cinematography, like his direction, his cinematography, his set design, fucking all the shit he goes through, miniatures and like.
I think my favorite scene in the movie was Cliff at the ranch.
Yeah. Oh, it was like a horror movie,
dude.
It was so well done,
so tense. And then like all music drops out, and like speaking of music, like again, Tarantino has the best soundtracks for every single movie he does, and this one just starts great and ends great. Just wonderful soundtrack. But I love that all the music stops when he goes into the house, and then it's just the TV,
sound of the TV.
Yeah, it's that part's great. Like it. So much is done in that scene that
Yeah.
like, because you expect something to happen and then nothing happens.
Nope.
It's amazing.
Then they build up tension again, and then then you get like a flash forward in time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really whatever. And then you're like, wow, like nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole middle of the movie is like one day.
Yeah. The build up to the explosion. Yeah. The whole first part of the movie is one day, and then it's like montagey shit, and then it's another day.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's 3 hours fucking long.
Yeah. And then you jump forward 6 months.
Yeah, I think
in
it's
time.
6 months.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, okay. It was crazy though. As I was watching it, I was just like, the whole climax of this movie is one day.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had like an opening where it was like a couple days, and you're getting a feeling that time is going by and everything, and then he takes him to work that day. And that's it. Like,
Yep.
he fixes a TV antenna. He shoots some scenes. He goes to that ranch, and then that's the end of, like, the whole middle part of the movie. Like, it's so crazy because there never seems to be any, like, rising action or anything like that. It doesn't seem to follow the typical movie structure like usual. But but it doesn't even do that up and down and up and down and up and down thing either that he does a lot, too.
Yeah.
It's all just one day for the most part. And then we jump forward, and then the movie's over.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. There's no real flow to it. It's steady. Like, and it's steady. I never felt like, when is this movie gonna fucking end? Or anything like that. It was just like, it has a real consistent flow to it, and I thought that was really great. I thought that was an interesting. I'm running my mouth now.
No, it's definitely, that's what's so great about it, is it's so odd, but not in the typical Tarantino structure way.
Yeah.
It's just, let this play. These people are great.
Well, it's like Hateful Eight, where that's another one that's all one day, and it just, I mean, and it's not like it's never been done, but it was just crazy to have like this huge span of time go for one whole day, and then you jump forward
a couple
so far. It doesn't end with that day.
A few flashbacks / maybe fantasy scenes.
I was going to ask you about that. We'll get into that when we start talking.
And then you have a second part of the movie that's like has narration over it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, when did this happen? And it's just so,
because it only happened at the beginning, at the very beginning, and then it happens again at the end. And it was kind of cool. I thought it was interesting.
It's just riveting is like the word I would use. Like, it just keeps your attention. It's riveting, and you just like being with these characters.
100%. The characters are very enjoyable to watch, and everybody does a great job. I really enjoyed Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate. She doesn't really say much or anything like that, but she just she makes you like Sharon Tate a little more, like, or like, oh man, yeah, she was a really nice lady, when you're thinking about Sharon Tate and stuff like that. And it's I don't know, it was a really cool.
They don't spend too much time on Roman Polanski though.
No,
he doesn't say anything.
No, he just kind of shows up in a couple scenes, and then like I think it's heavily implied that he had to leave.
Yeah.
And because Jay shows up more often at that point.
I think Tarantino knew not to even try to make him like a character in the movie. Like, he had to be there. Yeah. But like, you don't try to glorify it or make him like a sympathetic, because this is before all that shit went down. So So like,
or while it was going on.
Yeah. So it's like, it's fine, but fucking, just like, don't even try to seem like you're taking a stance on Roman Polanski. Other than, I guess, he makes good films. That is...
Oh, yeah.
That is undebatable.
Yeah, that's undebatable. But, yeah, the man is still a dick.
So that's... that was kind of funny. But you get McQueen, and you get some other...
Oh, dude, and I was talking to you about it the other day. The other day was yesterday. The guy they got for McQueen I was like, man, I wonder who they're going to get for McQueen. Cause like Margot Robbie doesn't look like Sharon Tate, I mean,
no.
And
so
it
was also when they show Sharon Tate movie, it's
Sharon Tate. Yeah.
Not Margot Robbie like superimposed, which I guess is respectful, but
yeah. Well, and I have a theory on that, and we'll get into that when we start talking about the other thing. But, I thought that was great. Like, you just went and watched that movie with her. Like, that's all you did, and it was great.
Yeah.
What's going on, though, with Tarantino and the feet and the leg thing?
Yeah,
like, I mean, he has a very big obsession with the lower extremities of females.
He's a feet guy. So, like,
it's not even just feet, though, because, like, we get a lot of Margot Robbie leg and all the hippie girls. Like, every shot you see a hippie girls is, like, from the waist down.
Yeah, they all. But at some point, somebody, one of the female leads or female actresses, the actresses put their fucking their feet up against glass.
Oh, that's on the dash, and then she's got her feet up on the chair in front of her.
What's
and
her name?
In the theater.
Yeah, and what's her name? How am I spacing on her name? Oh my god. Dakota Fanning's like pointing with her feet.
Yeah,
like, he just likes feet, man. Like I don't know.
I think he's got a.
And they were like all dirty feet too, which is weird.
Oh yeah, they're gross looking feet. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a weirdo.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Don't kink shame somebody. Is that what it is? Fetish
shame?
Kink shame?
Yeah, kink shame.
I don't know.
Whatever. I'm not going to kink shame him, but he's a weirdo.
It's 2019, bro.
He's a foot weirdo. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Those made me laugh.
Yeah,
But because you notice, because they're so like the one girl puts her feet against the windshield,
and it takes up 90% of the screen.
And then Sharon Tate, she puts her feet up on the chair in front of her, and then you get Dakota Fanning sticking her foot in the frame, and whatever. Let's get into spoilers, even though we'll get into spoilers. So I think this movie is about nothing and a complete work of fiction. And it's about nothing, so there's not a whole lot to spoil.
And it is a complete work of fiction. Complete work of fiction, from beginning to end.
Yep, absolutely.
None of that is true.
Nope.
Well, that's like, it was so funny. This was the one time that the people that I was in the theater with were not annoying me because I thought it was hilarious. Was the old couple next to me, the only respectful people in the whole theater because they're whispering to each other.
Yeah.
She's just like, I don't remember who Rick Dalton is. She's like, was Rick Dalton real? I don't remember Bounty Law.
Yeah.
You know? And he's just like, her husband's like, because there's no show called Bounty Law. And she's just like, well, wasn't there one? He's like, there was one with Steve McQueen, yes.
Yeah.
But not, Rick Dalton's not a real person. And she's just like,
but I thought this was about the Manson murders.
She's like, yeah, she's like, I thought this was about Charles Manson and everything. And he's like, what? Watch the movie.
Yeah,
you know?
just watch the movie.
Yeah.
So I guess the first bit I think that you wanted to discuss was what the fuck was happening when they were cutting to scenes of the greatest greatest
so
game?
the question that I had was, in that universe, because we know it's different. By the end of the movie, you know it's different than ours. I'm wondering if it's the same universe as Inglourious Bastards. I was like...
Yeah, well, yes, because Inglourious Bastards had the same...
Yeah, they kill Hitler.
They kill Hitler.
Yeah. And in this one, they don't murder Sharon Tate.
They go to
the wrong...
Not even fucking close.
They go to the wrong fucking house.
Well, they were going to go to the right house, but then they got some weird thing in their mind that fuck Rick Dalton. He taught us how to kill, so let's go kill him. And that went very bad for them.
Yeah. That's what I mean. They went to the wrong house.
Okay. They went to the wrong fucking house.
Yeah, dude. Which was another great scene. Oh, God, that was awesome. The violence is over the top. I was waiting for Tarantino to kick in.
It had to happen.
Yeah. I was waiting for Tarantino to kick in because you get it.
It's 10 minutes and it's effective because
it's great.
It's like, fuck these guys. I'm gonna make make a fucking mockery of this. They're gonna get lit on fire with a fucking flamethrower. As soon as he started running, I was like, I know exactly what's about to happen.
I started laughing under my breath, and then when he actually came out with it, I just burst out. I was laughing so loud in the theater. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie. He's just like, damn hippie.
Yeah, damn hippies. Yeah, and then just goes and has some drinks with Sharon Tate because she's still alive. And, and her and her fucking baby aren't murdered.
Yeah. And I'm assuming, I feel like it was being hinted that she's back with Jay Sebring at that point.
Yeah.
But dude, I was wondering. So in this universe, was his co-star in that movie show? Was he filming a show or a movie?
He was filming a show. He was filming an episode of some show.
Yeah, the Western that was coming out.
Yeah.
in this universe, was that character that was talking to him remembering the movie wrong and thinking that Steve McQueen got the role, or was he fantasizing about actually getting the role? So I was like, are they saying that he doesn't remember that Rick Dalton was actually in The Great Escape?
Yeah, I don't think that's what they were saying, but I was unsure if they were trying to imply that like he had shot some scenes and they ended up recasting him,
and that was
or if he was just he was having a mental breakdown fantasizing that he got the
yeah,
role.
because he's having a mental breakdown that entire day.
Yes, because he's coughing his lungs out because he drank 10 whiskey sours.
Eight whiskey sours. You smoke all the damn time. You drink too much. You memorized your lines. You should know them by now. That was one of my favorite scenes.
I will blow your fucking brains out next to the pool. And he's talking to himself.
He's looking in the mirror. You like that? Because that's what's going to happen. You don't get this scene right. I'm going to blow your fucking brains out. It was so funny.
So fucking good. Like,
if you fuck this up, I'm going to kill you. You like that? That's a promise, brother.
Fucking A. Yeah.
So yeah, I was trying to figure out, like, is he just going nuts?
Yeah.
Was he actually in the movie and this guy's remembering it wrong? Or did they do reshoots with McQueen?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's very unclear.
It was so funny to me. I was just like, oh man.
But they did a good job.
They did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
might have just been for fun.
Yeah.
Just throw him in there. Fuck it.
And DiCaprio was really good in that Western show. I want to watch that show.
Yeah. No, that's some of the best acting I've ever seen in my life.
8 years old.
He's just like,
Rick fucking Dalton. My favorite joke in the whole movie is at the beginning when he walks out and realizes he's a wash-up.
Yeah.
And he starts crying.
Put here.
Clip take. No, come on, buddy. He's like, put these on. Don't cry in front of the Mexicans.
Don't cry in front of the Mexicans.
It's
just,
my God.
There's not a single bit of the movie that I was like, Like I just loved it. It was very comedic, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Comedy. You got that like tense kind of almost horror thing at the Manson Ranch.
Some really good action.
Yeah. Some good. Yeah. And
the Bruce Lee fight's great.
The Bruce Lee, yeah, you have a flashback of fucking Brad Pitt beating up Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And fucking, also fucking randomly they just throw in there that he may or may not have killed his wife and then don't answer that question.
Yeah. Everybody believes he killed his wife and they show you the scene where he probably killed her and I think he did and I probably would have too. It's just him sitting there with that harpoon gun.
He's drinking a beer, clearly like intoxicated with a harpoon gun.
He's all scubaed up. He's got that dumb visor on his face. He's just pointing that harpoon gun at her while she's just like, I've been out on this deck for 5 hours in the shitty boat. Just bah, 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 bah. And he's just sitting there with a harpoon gun, just like.
And that's it. And then
then they hard cut away from it, and you never know if he actually did
two people say that he did, and then Rick says that he didn't.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah,
that's all you have to go off of.
Yeah, so fucking good.
Yeah.
The Bruce Lee scene was great to me because it was Bruce. Like, it's like when you really look into Bruce Lee, he's kind of a douche.
Yeah.
Like, very full of himself. And I just, it's in the trailers. It's a great joke. You kill anybody on accident, it's manslaughter.
Yeah, you kill anybody and fight on accident, you go to jail. It's called manslaughter. Yeah, it is in the trailer. But and that was a big chunk of the movie. Just that little flashback right there.
That's that whole day.
And that sets, and I love that just set them up, set it up even more that like they are good friends. Like he's arguing to try to get him and Wardrobe to be on the set.
And I like that they showed that like the two of them had a real friendship. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like he was just punking this guy and throwing him some bones.
Yeah, goes to Rome with him. Which, dude, talking about film nerd shit, where they're talking about the shitty spaghetti westerns and
have
Italian
you ever seen
films.
this? Nobody likes spaghetti westerns, and I was like, everybody loves spaghetti westerns. What are you talking about?
And and they're talking about how they dub the movies over there and all that.
Oh,
shit.
yeah. How you deliver your lines, but then they dub them anyway with somebody else's voice.
With
and
whatever
Rick Dalton,
region they're going to, yeah.
And Rick Dalton was all pissed about that. And that was great.
He made money, but he spent a bunch of it and gained
I love
weight
the freeze
in Rome and shit.
He, more than he loved the culture, he loved the food.
Yeah.
He gained about 15 pounds. I love the freeze frame of the car going over the jump on the bridge, and it's a cliff.
Yeah. Yes, that was good. Yeah. Dude, it just, I fucking loved it. I have been thinking about it ever since I saw it.
It's really, really good, dude. It's so good. And I like that it also sets up that Cliff is actually a really big badass.
Yeah.
Like, like, you don't mess with Cliff Booth.
Yeah. Fucking, because, yeah, the ending, fucking, I mean, we talked about it, but
yeah.
they go, you get what's happening. There's
One of the girls just bones out.
Yeah, there's narration leading up to it. Fucking Robin from Stranger Things bones the fuck out. And
that was Robin, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I was trying to figure
it's
out.
Ethan Hawke's kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget her name. But
So
yeah, it was so funny. I was sitting there, I was like, I know her. Thank you for that.
Yes.
This is driving me nuts. I recognize the guy that played Tex, too, but I couldn't figure out who it was.
So they're like gonna go, but fucking a drunk Rick Dalton comes out and tells them to get the fuck off.
Yeah,
because
their car is just like spewing.
It's backfiring.
It's barely running and just rolling in front of his house. And he comes out. He's like, "Get the hell out of my lawn!"
It's in a robe and fucking has a pitcher of margarita.
It's just blender. It's not even a pitcher.
Yeah,
it's the blender. He's just drinking it. Get off my street! Just taking swigs out of it. Well, go on, back up.
And then they have some weird hippie logic of where they should go kill him instead, or probably all of them.
Yeah.
And fucking just an amazing, ridiculous, ultra violent scene of fucking Brad Pitt and his dog just straight up murdering two people brutally.
Yeah.
Stomped one's head in.
Oh, yeah.
And then
bashed the other ones into the
mantle.
Yeah.
And then there's a flamethrower involved with the third.
Yeah, Rick Dalton takes care of her.
Yeah, and
that kid cracked me up though. Just like every time I thought she was down, she just
yeah, and then there's
they save Sharon Tate's life.
Yeah, there's jokes and jokes and jokes after that, and then it just ends with like, and now Sharon Tate is still alive, and
it has
and Rick Dalton's friends with the Polanskis now, and probably
and he's gonna get a revive. Yeah, he's gonna get his career revived and stuff, and like Cliff is gonna live to ride another day. You know?
And like they're still best buds. Like he's going to the hospital. He's like, no, stay with your wife.
Oh,
it's
dude,
cool.
that was
Watch my dog.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
just watching my dog. Oh, she's asleep on the bed. You're never getting her back. You know, they're just like dudes. It's so cool, man.
I don't know why I enjoy that so much.
Well, dude, because it's like
really good friends.
Every time we get like a Hollywood movie or something, or even like a mob movie or something, these guys are like, oh, they're the best of friends, and then like somebody like bangs somebody's wife, or somebody like gets busted with drugs or something, like, you know, and it's all like, oh, you tried, you know, or in this case when he's like, I don't have the money to keep you on anymore. Yeah. Cliff screws him over at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, steals his money, takes his wife.
They have a last bender.
Yeah, they have one last bender, and then they beat the crap out of hippies. No, that scene was great, and it's like, because I was just like, oh shit, because he smokes that acid cigarette before, and I was just like, oh no, okay, so they didn't kill Tate. What, did they kill them and then go kill Sharon?
Yeah.
In this world, and then I was just like, what? Because he's just giggling the whole time, and the tension's rising, and then the other guy starts laughing. I was like, he's gonna let him go. They're just gonna fuck off because like they're just he's too weird, and they're just like, oh, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then no, he just goes. And Brandy just jumps that guy's nuts, dude.
Dude, I think one of my favorite jokes is from that same scene where he's like, I know you. And he's like, I'm the devil, like here to do the devil's work or something like that.
No,
and he goes, something dumber than that.
Yeah, nah, something dumber than that. Rex?
Rex? And then he goes to shoot him. And that scene starts. And it's just great. It's Tarantino's fucking so restrained in he did what he wanted to do, but it made sense.
The movie's so subtle the whole time, and then Tarantino does Tarantino. You know, and you got little glimpses like when you're watching like the episode of FBI and his Nazi killer movie where he's got the patch on his head, where he got the flamethrower.
Yeah, where he got the fucking flamethrower.
Okay. That was another joke I love. This thing's way too hot. Can we do anything about that? It's a flamethrower.
It's a flamethrower.
Man. Rick, it's a flamethrower.
Dude, and yeah, just them sitting and watching his episode of FBI, and they're just sitting there and they're like, "Oh, I like that shot."
Yeah,
like,
that's a good shot, and it was a good shot. I was like, "Oh, that is a good shot." Just him on the car through the smashed up window.
I imagine the older people who were like, "I know about Sharon Tate," would just fucking hate this movie or think it was so boring.
Everybody applauded in the movie that I was in
Really?
when that went down. Yeah, they all thought it was great, but they were irritating as shit. They were. That's not Roman Polanski. Well, they say it's Roman Polanski, but it's not. Roman Polanski's a little weasel. Well, they couldn't get Roman Polanski to play young Roman Polanski, and I don't think he's allowed back in the States
he's not.
anyway.
He has to stay
and
in
she was just like, well, and that's not Sharon Tate either. That woman looks like a hussy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And then one of the old rednecks up in the top that I saw walking in was the acid's kicked in. He's seeing the tracers. That's what's going on. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I was just gonna watch the movie.
Yeah. And
if
just realized that he smoked acid and is now laughing at his hand moving. So
also, would you agree
did you think that something was going to go on with that acid cigarette?
Yeah,
I thought for sure they made a big deal out of him putting it
into a big old batch.
And I was like, oh god,
cigarettes.
Tomorrow he's going to go to work and ruin everything good he did today.
Yeah, and then I thought that was going to be what fucked them over.
Nope. And then we jumped 6 months.
Yeah. And then, I remember you. I also, dude, the cutaways in this movie were used so well, where he's just like, somebody, a hippie girl sold it to me or something, and it just cuts, and she's like, "You want to buy an acid cigarette?" Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah. Where'd you get that? I bought it.
Yeah, I bought it.
Bought it. You want to buy an acid cigarette? What? Jump back. Yeah. Oh my god! I don't want to do this here. I don't want to do it at home. If I'm gonna do it somewhere, I'm gonna do it here. Walk around in nature and shit.
Not as crappy trailer and the Van Nuys driving.
Dude,
which was a miniature, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another great scene just between him and his dog.
Yeah.
Like that's
so good. Which, by the way, this might just be me thinking that every single time you have a single shot of a dog bowl with fucking dog food dropping into it, I was like, that's Back to the Future right there, baby.
Right? Right? I kind of chuckled at that one, too, because that popped in my head. But, yeah, dude, did you just whine? If you whine, you don't get food. It's like... All of it felt natural.
No, they almost let it play out in real time. Him fucking opening the cans and doing all that shit and making mac and cheese
and stuff.
Like,
yeah. And they're just eating it out of the pot,
for nothing, just to show us that character's life.
It's like at one point I was just like, oh god, is he going to eat the dog food? Yeah, because he pulls out the 2 cans and I was like, he's going to eat that dog food. No, they're both for Brandy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just such a great movie, dude.
Yeah.
It's like it feels natural. Like none of the conversations felt scripted. Mm-mm. It's. I mean, he writes great dialogue, but when you get good actors delivering the great dialogue, it's fantastic. It's
just so like down to earth comedic.
Yeah,
that I really like.
It's like a normal humor.
Over the top.
Yeah, it's a normal everyday person kind of humor. Like the jokes are very understated. It's nobody's being goofy or wacky,
I mean,
but they're
till
not
the very end.
Yeah.
And then obviously he flexes, like showing old movies that don't exist that are Tarantino-esque.
Yeah, they're just yeah. Anybody order the fried sauerkraut?
Yeah. Fucking the whole everybody on the set of you had not Vincent D'Onofrio, fucking Timothy Olyphant and fucking Luke Perry.
Yeah,
and Luke
last
Perry.
Film, right?
Yeah, it was his last one he did.
I was real happy. I was like, this is what he's going out on.
Yeah,
good for you, Luke.
Just everybody that showed up during that whole bit was great. The little girl was good.
Little girl was great. I thought she was going to be really annoying, and I was just like, no, she's perfect for what she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't normally like words like pumpkin pie, but you're sad, so we'll just address that later. It's like him describing that book. I was just like, oh man. Yeah. No. Realizing that he's useless. His whole existential crisis is so
that
great,
he
dude.
snaps in and out of on a whim.
I know. It's
You know
it's
what I
like
mean?
some kind of PTSD
Yeah.
or something. Like he forgets that he sucks.
Oh shit! And
Dude,
then just like them, like you're seeing it from like it's obviously a modern day camera, but you're getting the shots that they're getting in the show.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, "All right, bring it back," and they're fucking.
Oh, and they add
like,
they add those the squeak of the wheel so while they push the cart back around and everything. That was awesome.
Yeah, everything there and everybody who showed up was in those scenes were great.
Just like treat yourself, people.
Yeah, so that's a good movie. You should go see it.
That was an awesome movie.
It's fucking A. I'm glad that we got a movie like that this year because
I'm very glad.
Like as much as we like watching Avengers and Star Wars and what have you,
it makes me think of how happy I was leaving the theater after Nice Guys.
Yeah, like Nice Guys or a Blade Runner or fucking When I Saw Baby Driver, like same thing. It's like a nice real movie.
Yeah. That's how I felt. It's how I felt when I watched Patterson on Amazon. I was just like, God, they still do make just like you know.
People are still making movies, which is nice, and in theaters because like people are never going to stop making like art, but you know, you're not. Not everything. You don't want to. Sometimes you want to go to the movies. Netflix is great, and they fund things, but you know, it's not the same.
No,
watching this in the theater was awesome.
I feel like you need to watch it on the big screen.
We should have went to the Cinerama Dome.
That would have been cool. That would have been real cool. I think it would have been awesome to watch it in a drive-in.
Yeah, drive-in would have been cool as well.
Dude, and I love that it does all the aspect ratios and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's all like the TV show's real skinny, and then the old movie's a little wider and stretched and everything. Yeah, it was. It's none of it felt like this is real footage from the 70s because we slapped a filter over it. No, it's like no, that's actually shot on Super 8 and stuff. That was awesome.
Masterpiece.
Great film.
Masterful work.
Great film.
Highly recommended from us at the Mighty Movie Pod.
Yeah.
I know that you saw another movie. I really wanted to see it.
I saw two other movies. I watched one today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Shit, son.
Not in the theater. I watched it on Amazon. It didn't get a theatrical release. Okay. It was an indie film, real low budget.
Real low budget.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal, I think, is the biggest name in the movie. It's called Prospect. It's a sci-fi film.
Okay.
Kind of one of those things that like blend so well together. It's got the Western gold rush kind of thing going on, but it's set in a sci-fi world. So
I mean, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I've seen Firefly. I like it.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm not saying everything's a ripoff of anything else, but I'm saying I like that idea.
It's not like Firefly in that everybody's wearing like cowboy hats, and carry a space revolver.
I get
it.
It's not cowboys in space. It's just colonialism.
It's just it's the idea of what was going on during the West and the Western expansion and everything. It's called Prospect, and this father and daughter have traveled across the abyss in their
wagon.
Yeah, essentially, yes. To find to lay a claim in this planet for a company of mercenaries that they have been employed by to go and grab this material that's super valuable, and it's gonna they're gonna make this is how they're gonna make their way. And they land there, and they get their claim jumped, basically, by Pedro Pascal and his partner, and then an adventure ensues from there. And it's all like pew pew, and this is the pew pew. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's very pew pew.
Yeah, it's very pew pew. Like it's a lot of tension, especially between the daughter and Pedro Pascal. Because it's like they get into a misadventure, and then it's like, how do we get off this planet, and and then they run into the mercenaries, and you meet the indigenous life, and it's very much like one of those old westerns, but it's set in space. And I think it's very, very low budget. Like it's just them in the woods basically in spacesuits, and the design of the spacesuits is really cool. Like it's just like a flight suit, and then some people have like different kinds of bits and stuff at it. It's the old style, old school, like retro sci-fi kind of design where they've got like all the guns look kind of stylized and that kind of thing, but they're in that kind of retro sci-fi way and everything. So that was really cool. And then everybody's got the big helmets and stuff,
Yeah.
and then they've got like the flight suit with like an air oxygen tank on the back and stuff. But it's like it's a little more rugged, and it's like Alien, Star Wars, and like retro kind of. And then you've got the Western side and everything going on. It's really cool. I really enjoyed that.
You
one.
liked it?
I really liked it. It's only 100 minutes long. It's not very long, but yeah, that's on Hulu.
Hulu.
If you have it, please watch Prospect. We need more sci-fi like that. It's very low budget, and it's just about telling a cool story in space.
I'll have to check it out.
That one's real cool. And then the one I saw in theaters before I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I saw Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And I'm not going to tell you too much.
Yeah, because I wanted to see it. I was going to hit you up to go see it. But
So we'll talk about that one at a later date if you catch it, or if you do, I'll go again.
Yeah,
I'll go again.
I'm definitely going to catch it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll go again if you want. I will say creature design is top notch. One complaint. Quite a few jump scares in the beginning. They peter off towards the end, but it's just a really good ghost story, and it's one of those ones that makes
false jump scares.
One is a false jump scare, and then
because I don't mind jump scares too much.
Well, it's kind of there's a succession that kind of rapid fires at the beginning of the movie, and then it's almost like somebody was kind of like, let's do some normal shit for and then you get the creepy atmospheres and the spooky bits. But it's not just like, I gotcha, the whole time. Like,
hey, what are you doing? And you're like, oh shit, I thought
they're
it was
befitting. They're befitting of the stories that they're. Well, one is you need the jump scares in one of the stories that you're getting, and then in the next one, you probably could have done without them, and you didn't really need them. But really good. It's one of those ones that like. It makes me remember when I fell in love with horror when I was a kid, the ones that I started watching when I was a kid, like Monster Squad and Goonies. And, Goonies isn't really a horror flick, but it does have the horror element. Yeah. Paranorman is another one I would loop it in with. But yeah, it's in there with like Paranorman, It Follows, first season of Stranger Things. There's one I'm
which was
missing.
Definitely the most horror-ish.
Super 8,
Super 8, yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's set in the 60s, same time period I believe as Once Upon a Time. I think it's like the same year actually.
Really?
But they're a little fast and loose with that setting. Some of the dialogue doesn't really
doesn't mesh.
Yeah, and some of the references they have aren't quite in the a little fast and loose with its setting. But there's a feel of it that it's I want to say it's nostalgic, but like I feel like nostalgia has gotten such a bad rap lately because it's just like, oh yeah, so they're just milking that nostalgia. That's not what it is. It reminds you of, it's like when we watched Halloween. It was like, yeah, dude, this is what I loved, and that's how this feels. It's just like it makes you remember things that you liked about the genre. And that's, the first,
that
it's
maybe
like,
that aren't really around anymore. Mm-hmm.
It's the way the movies.
Nostalgia.
It's the way the movie's made, not because of the time period that they're setting up or anything. The time period really doesn't.
And a
matter.
lot of times, if it's apparent if a filmmaker's going for easy nostalgia that they think is marketable, or it's just going to play better with what I want to do because certain technology doesn't exist, or mindsets of that time, or this or that, or family dynamics, and blah, 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 blah.
Well, but that's what I love about this movie about the movie. But we'll talk about it after you've seen it. I will say I like the director. The director's fantastic. It's not Guillermo del Toro.
No, I know.
Guillermo del Toro is the writer.
He wrote it.
It's like him and one of his buddies that wrote it. They adapted the book to the short stories to the film. But the director, he made another movie that I like that I'm going to recommend right now to anybody that hasn't seen it. It's I hate the genre, but it's found footage. It's called Troll Hunter.
I've heard of Troll Hunter.
Troll Hunter is awesome. And if you haven't watched it, I think it might still be on Amazon or Netflix.
I think that was one of the first big ones that like
Netflix landed.
Early Netflix streaming times where people were like, "It's Troll Hunter and it's awesome. You should check it out."
Yeah, and it's this really cool movie about these kids that like they find out that it's like those shows like Monster Seeker and stuff that's on Sci-Fi Channel. Like World's Biggest Fish or whatever the hell. They go out and they're investigating these rumors of trolls and stuff like that. And then they find an actual troll hunter, and they were out to disprove all this theories and stuff like that. And they find this guy, and they go on an adventure with him, and they hunt down trolls. It's a really, really creepy, really scary, action-y. The only thing that sucks is it's found footage, but like it's one of those times where you're like, no, they're doing it right. You know, this actually feels like, this is how found footage should be.
Yeah.
But it's a great movie, and dude, it has that Guillermo del Toro feel. Different director. It did all the kids are great. Like, but anyway, we'll talk about it when you see it. I don't want to talk. I want to go check
it out.
But that's what I did, man.
Hell yeah. That's it for me too, man. I was just glad that we were able to get a few under our belt for this triumphant return.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got new days off. I'm off on Thursday, Friday, so everybody's at work most times, so I might as well just go see a couple movies on Thursdays or whatever.
I'm jealous. I like seeing movies by myself. I don't. It doesn't matter. I'm just kidding, but I do. Anyway,
I kind of prefer it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No, but I like that.
It's funny.
We're not worrying about like scheduling. We have to worry about scheduling the podcast and not about seeing movies and then scheduling the podcast. So we're gonna be back next week. I'm calling it
for sure. I hope so. We should just call them season finale.
Yeah, right.
If we could predict when we were gonna
last season we ended with the Spider-Man, which to be fair was the end of an era. Because I highly doubt we're going to be talking about superhero films nearly as much.
No, I think that we're going to start dropping down. I saw an article the other day that was just like, Dune can be the next Star Wars or Avengers. And I was like, let's not put the cart before the horse, all right? No one saw Blade Runner.
Yeah,
you know?
It's true. Nobody.
Yeah.
And it's a masterpiece.
It's a fantastic film. Yeah. It's
one of the best of the
like
last
I love Denis. I love his films.
Yeah.
But like they don't really pull in that kind of funding, you know. I mean, Dune could change that. I mean, it is a big saga. It's a big epic as long as they end when Frank stopped writing. Don't do the Brian books. Those are terrible. But yeah, I was just like, all right, guys, pump the brakes on that one. Like let's wait and see what works before we start labeling what's the next.
Yeah, relax. But it definitely is kind of.
People were saying that about the Matrix. They were saying that about, you know, what was the other one? People were really bucking for the Godzilla movies to do that. I don't think they will. I think they'll be like Planet of the Apes, where people watch them, they enjoy them, but they're not going to be the huge.
Yeah. But there is room for something to come in and take it, because like
always room.
The Marvel machine is steadying after it's ramped down. Like there's still more movies coming. Yeah. But they're what they should be. Like I don't. You're getting a Doctor Strange sequel, and it's like no.
We're getting a Black Widow movie. I don't know how that's gonna work.
And then like they're making some TV shows, and like that's it. There's no plan for new Avengers. Or
did you hear people are already turning on the Game of Thrones Star Wars?
Really?
Oh yeah, they're just like, apparently they're just gonna Game of Thrones it up because Disney's like, oh, all right guys, well maybe we're gonna, and I'm just like, yeah, they've done that with everybody.
Yeah, and
everybody's just like, well, they ruined the whole show with the last season. And I'm just like, what is this with like,
an acclaimed award-winning show that it was everybody loved and made a network fucking shit jillion dollars.
Yeah,
they made like a pretty lackluster last season, so they're like worthless filmmakers.
It's the thing that bothers me is like that's so prevalent where they're just like, I've loved this for years. Oh, this has been great, and then like one thing sucks about the thing, and the whole show's been ruined. That's the only time I find that applicable is with Lost. And it worked with Lost because they just kept introducing new questions and they never gave any new answers. No. They shit out an answer in the last episode.
That was padding for time. And those are the seasons that I didn't like in Game of Thrones, where it was just like nothing. Season 5, nothing fucking happened. Like, that's the shit that I don't like.
Well, that's why I stopped reading the books, because the books are like that now. They're just like, he's just padding for time, trying to figure out how he's going to end that series.
Yeah, a rushed, somewhat unsatisfying ending is like, who fucking, like, whatever.
It doesn't ruin the entire product.
Whatever. You have like 7 other fucking seasons. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break. Could be worse. It could end with, well,
just do what I did. Stop watching at the 4th.
Yeah, just of every show. Yeah. So Nobody knows what's going on with it.
I just got what you did. It could be worse. It could just end on "Here I am."
Yeah.
Firefly.
Yeah, like it could be way worse. So
it could be way worse.
Nobody knows what's going on with fucking Star Wars, man. Like, let's get this last movie out and then like breathe. Like they're focusing on their streaming platform right now.
Yeah, they're talking.
They
to
have
Ewan
a bunch of
McGregor
people.
about an Obi-Wan
They
show,
have a bunch of people attached to different projects that are in the works. Ryan Johnson's still making a thing. These guys are making a thing.
I want to see Knives Out.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, I love that he's apparently just going to be the like we love it or we hate it guy now.
Yep.
So whatever. But there's
Plus,
a lot
Captain
of names.
America says the swear words. That's all over the internet. Like, oh, Captain America's got a potty mouth in this one. And I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, there's a bunch of names attached to with a bunch of unnamed projects, and nobody knows what's going on. We still haven't wrapped this shit up. Like, let's not worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, the Game of Thrones shit will probably die down, but at the same time, it's like, it's just vocal minorities, like loud echo chambers on the internet. It's like most people don't know who's directing the new Star Wars movie. You know what I mean? Mass appeal fucking type people. I mean, hardcore Star Wars fans, who the fuck do they care who are directing the goddamn movies?
Yeah,
like, to be completely honest.
They're going to ruin it. They need to give it back to Lucas.
To be completely honest. Like, who directed Solo?
Ron Howard?
Oh yeah, that's right. Ron Howard did. I was like, they got rid of the two names that were attached to it, and I don't even remember who directed it. It was fucking Ron Howard. That didn't help it. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? It matters if they have a good script and they like cast them well.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what we've been saying for a long time about most things.
Yeah. What happened with Last Jedi, that's like that you could like write a thesis paper on that. I enjoy the movie, but there's so many just weird things going on with that movie.
It's crazy that it made as big a mess as it did while being such a mess itself.
Yeah.
It's like normally it's just like that was one time though, but like everything's in just like so much world building just went out the window.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Johnson was like, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah,
and it's like, cool. Thing. You don't start that way though.
No.
I mean, you start that way. You don't go into a second.
And that's the thing.
Way.
They rushed a trilogy into production. So like that's another thing. If these people are signing on for multiple movie deals, like let them fucking have some time to figure out, like to plan out the story.
Exactly. If you want to do this like one movie every year thing or every other year, then people have to nail down what they want. And you have to let them do it. You can't just like fly by the seat of your pants, still writing the script while you're filming the film.
Yeah.
Which Force Awakens, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were still writing the script while they were filming
it?
Yeah,
yeah. Because Lawrence Kasdan and him started kind of punching up the script and getting it done. But Michael Arndt just didn't write it.
No.
It's just like, they're like, is it done? He's like, no. And they're like, okay, well, fuck off then. And then they just started writing it, which, and they didn't write a whole lot.
No.
but it doesn't matter because the movie had likable characters and good actors and good action and whatever. And then it was able to be built upon. But I don't think they gave enough time. It didn't have a clear direction.
No.
And then the guy who did the next one knew what he wanted to focus on. And kind of fucked off with all the other stuff that they left questions with that didn't get answered. And it's just this whole thing. So I have faith in the next movie, and I have faith that I don't really give a shit if it's the Game of Thrones guys. I don't give a shit if Ryan Johnson's making a new one. I'm just kind of like, they're going to come out and they're either going to be good or they're fucking not going to be good. Like,
the only thing that I'm saying is, and you said it, is it's just like they need the time to plot these 3 movies out. You can't just go like, okay, now make another one. Well, I haven't written the other one. Well, we need it by December.
Yeah, well, you have a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, write it, shoot it, and fucking edit it.
Yeah.
Like,
this mass production line, and this is what's been bothering me a lot about like them buying up all these properties, like Disney's doing, with like the Century Fox and stuff, and they've already said you're gonna get Pandora, and it's like, no. Don't do that, like just give me one movie and then like wait a couple years,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
yeah, sequels didn't used to come out like this. You know what I mean? So it's odd. I don't. The Game of Thrones guys, who knows? They might make a good Star Wars, or they might not. I'm just interested in this trilogy to wrap up because I have faith that I don't think it's going to be the best script in the world, but I have faith that J.J. Abrams is going to make
at least be competent,
a very well-made film.
Yeah,
and and I'm not going to let one movie that I thought was kind of messy like ruin a Star Wars forever. I'm just like, I fucking like that movie. I mean, it's fucking got problems out the ass.
It's the same thing. Everybody talking about the prequels ruining the films and stuff like that back in the day, and it's like, no, it doesn't.
It's like, yeah, I don't like them, but guess what? I still can watch Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't have to watch those. You know, it's
fine. Yeah, it's fine, and I understand. Like, they're like, but they're setting things up that I don't like in the next one, and Luke's dead, and I'm just like, okay. Like, if you were here for Luke Skywalker, like, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm interested in these new interesting characters, not the characters I've seen have their arc already. Yeah. And then we explored there a little bit more, and you disagree with that, and that's fine. Yeah. But that's still what happened.
Well, it's everybody that's mad that Han died, and I'm like, he was still doing the same thing that he's always been doing, and I'm like, did you not watch the other movies? Han didn't have a plan.
No.
Like, he never had a plan. Like, his whole plan was just get to the next job where I can get more money. He didn't have a retirement plan.
No.
You know? Like,
it was hunting Rathars.
there was no 401k at the end of Han's smuggling life.
Nope. So, I don't know. People need to calm down. That creators of a show that was extremely popular and good was bad for a season, and now Star Wars is doomed because of it, even though it's already dead.
Oh, it's super dead. Didn't we say that with Solo? Isn't that when we started our Solo review? Well, Star Wars is dead.
Star Wars is dead.
It's just dead.
It's just nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Star Wars is dead.
Yeah, I'm in a weird place with Star Wars. But guess what? There's going to be a trailer for this new movie, and I'm going to be like, you know what? I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to watch a movie like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or any of these other great movies and be like, you know what? I like movies.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that's
anyway,
what we does here.
I'm rambling about Star Wars, but it's weird that you brought that up because I hadn't heard anything about it.
I just saw it on Reddit
I just know
today.
nobody will fucking shut the fuck up about those idiots, and I'm just like, God, they don't care.
They're still getting paid.
Like, that was their 10 years of fucking making that show. They fucking did what they could, and then they got the fuck out of there. And, like, they were probably happy with it, and you're not happy with it. And some other people probably are. Some other people who don't go on fucking Reddit every day are probably don't even know that people didn't like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that it was just like, well, they've already ruined Star Wars. Like, they ruined all of Game of Thrones. And I was just like...
all of it?
Yeah, I was like, there's like 8 seasons of the show. You got like 6 feature-length films.
True.
Calm down, you know.
Yeah, relax. And they're completely different genres. I mean, they're fantasy, I guess, but
yeah. Oh God, don't open that can of worms. Like, it's not really sci-fi. There's no such thing as hyperspace.
Yeah, I know it's not sci-fi.
The force isn't real. Yeah. I get annoyed by those people where they're like, "There's no sound in space," and I'm like, "I know there's no sound in space. Just watch the movie."
Yeah, you know? Yeah. I would just roll my eyes, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it's not really sci-fi. It's sci-fi fantasy.
If it was just people I met online. I'd be like, oh, whatever. But like real people have talked, there's no sound, there's no way to make a lightsaber, right? And I'm like,
wow, no. The movies are fake.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that the moon's really a moon and not a Death Star?
Son of a bitch. No. My whole world shattered. Anyway, let's wrap this shit up. We will be back next week, and you can find us on major podcasting apps, including Apple Sorry, I always want to say iTunes. It doesn't exist anymore. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all that good shit. Just search for The Mighty Movie Pod. You can find us on Twitter at Mighty Movie Pod, and we are on YouTube at we're Mighty Fish Productions on YouTube. That is where you can find all of our video content. Check out Classic Catch Up and whatever else we end up doing. Twitch.tv/Mighty Fish Productions. You can go there if you don't want to watch anything. So that'll do it. We will be back next week.
Wait, no, we did a Battlefront stream.
It's true. No, I did do some testing, and we just you underpromise, overdeliver, Josh. But bookmark it. Follow us, whatever. Thank you very much for listening. We will be back next week. My name has been Ryan.
It's all going to shit, man.
It's all bad.
It's all bad. Oh yeah, I'm Josh.
And we will catch you.
Still Josh.
Still Josh. Oh shit. We will catch you next time. Goodbye.